welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Mitchell Roberts, and I serve as the Director of Product Marketing at TripleBlind. TripleBlind is a technology company that has created the most complete and scalable solution for privacy-enhancing computation, allowing organizations to combine data and algorithms while preserving privacy and enforcing compliance. We are partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers in a series of interviews. Today, I have the pleasure of talking with Jodi Morton, Global and US Chief Data Officer at KPMG. Jodi, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here today, Mitchell.
We appreciate you being here. I'll just go ahead and get started. So first on my list of questions is just in the competitive world of consulting, how important is it to be able to leverage data science and analytics to create a competitive advantage?
I mean, it's absolutely 8,000% important. So when we talk to our clients, and recently we did a CEO survey back in 2021, one of the key themes we hear from, all of our CEOs, from all of our clients is, they're undertaking their own digital business transformation, and data is at the heart of that. And so without us as, a trusted provider and partner to our clients, if we don't have the data science, the advanced analytic capabilities, if we don't have the strategic view of how data can actually drive and empower these digital business transformations, we would not be able to compete as well against other competitors in the market. So it's absolutely critical that, we are able to bring to bear, the resources with the right skills. So it's the people, it's the data, it's the technology platforms, it's making sure that we have the right, internal platforms and processes and controls and governance around those platforms and the data. So as we leverage those platforms and the data to add value to our clients, we're doing it in the right way. In accordance with client expectations, with law, regulation, policy, et cetera. So it's absolutely critical for us to be competitive, in the consulting world, that we're able to bring to bear our data and our data science, our analytics capabilities, and everything we do with our clients.
Absolutely. I think that makes a lot of sense. And to me, I think it's an interesting and strategic position to be on the consulting side because you are dealing with a lot of the same issues your clients might be, or not issues, but challenges, and the data and analytics learnings from just internal strategies that you've tried can be applied to your clients, and what you're learning working with them can also be applied internally or to other clients. So I think it's an awesome position to be in, to kind of be that source of knowledge and to know what's worked and what hasn't, and kind of where the future is going with this.
No, absolutely. And I think it's important, I speak with folks that are actually serving our clients, and what do you see out in the field? What are the best practices, et cetera, and making sure that my team and I understand what's going on so we can bring that to bear in what we're doing for KPMG.
Absolutely. So now just moving on to the next question. When we look at industries like healthcare, life sciences, financial services, and fintech, what are some of the innovative data science and analytics tactics being implemented both by KPMG and by your clients? What problems or opportunities are they addressing?
So I'll take this question right back to, my comments on the first question around, everybody is undertaking some sort of digital business transformation. So I think the pandemic has actually driven companies that maybe were not either hadn't started yet or were sort of testing the waters to say, okay, we need to up our game here. We really need to understand what's going on, because our traditional ways of doing business, before March 2020 have all changed. So it's everything from understanding, wanting having deeper insights regarding your customers, your clients, and how do you bring to bear the right service or the product or the capability when they need it. It's understanding your supply chain. We're hearing an awful lot about, supply chain disruption in the news day in and day out. So how can data and analytics help, our clients to understand what's going on so they can be proactive versus reactive to what's happening there. It's looking at, basic forecasting. My background before becoming a chief data officer was actually in finance and accounting, where, how do you forecast out your profitability, your cost profile, and things like that. So how can data, help us really understand, so you get, as a CFO, they can be more proactive in understanding the future financing needs of an organization, or the right trade-offs to make as they're looking how to invest on behalf of an organization. Another huge place is, in the risk management space, how can data and analytics help you, again, be proactive versus reactive when maybe a new risk is emerging in the market. So there's just, there's dozens of ways. And I think what's really, a key thought here is the ability to be predictive versus reactive. And one of my former bosses used to say, don't tell me yesterday's news, tell me the news that we need to make. So how can you use data and then data science and advanced analytics to understand what is going to happen, so you can take the right actions today to either, make a tweak or adjustment to your business strategy, to be proactive in reaching out to a vendor or a supplier, or if you think about your workforce, taking the right actions to take care of your workforce in this, ever evolving and changing, environment that we've been working in over the past couple of years here. So I think the other thing that's really important too, when you talk about, what are all these industries doing with data, it's the sources of data. There's more and more every single day of the week, right? So whether it's internal data that's being generated from what may be hiring employees, or it's log data from the systems that you're running, et cetera. You've got all that internal data. You've got public data that's available in the market, and there's richer and richer data sets that are becoming more and more available. And then you've got data that you can actually buy from various third-party providers. And so when you take all of these just amazing sources of data and say, well, gosh, do I have the platforms? Do I have the people? Do I have the technology? Do I have the governance? And putting that all together so that you can actually, again, get to that. How do I understand where I'm going so I can proactively manage my business versus being reactive to yesterday's news? I think, you mentioned a few industries there. It's those industries plus every other one out there that need to really start thinking about how can you get to that point, what you need to put in place for that. And that's where we can help, in the case of KPMG, we can help our clients do that.
I think that's a great answer. And I think you hit the nail on the head there with the, across every industry is the move to being more predictive and proactive. And we see it in healthcare. We have a lot more ways to monitor our health before we have to go to the doctor's office. So we have, rather than, only going to the doctor when we're sick, we have a better idea of, what our general well-being is all the time. And it's the same thing in financial services. It's about making better and faster decisions for investing or, other financial decisions. You talked about risk and supply chain, all extremely relevant. And then just tying that into, okay, so we have goals in mind. We know the data is being generated. Do we have the processes in place to actually make that work for us in the way that we want it to? Right. And I think that's going to be incredibly important.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much, Jodi Morton, for joining me today. If you're watching, please visit cdomagazine.tech for additional interviews.
Thank you so much, Mitchell.
Thank you.